It's the book of Job, 9 and 24.
Read.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man.
Right.
That's evident and that's apparent. When we take a look and we go to any continent of the earth, we can see the so-called white man on that continent running things, man. Oppressing people, raping, robbing, and murdering, extorting and exploiting. Read on.
He covered the faces.
What's going on, man? How you doing? You doing pretty good, man?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you a quick question, man.
Yes, sir.
You in the service?
Yes, sir. I'm a United States Marine.
You are a United States Marine, man. How long you been enlisted?
About a year now.
About a year, right? How has your tenure been in the Marine Corps?
How was my what?
How has it been since you've been in the Marine Corps, you're enlisted?
It's been absolutely amazing. It's one of the best seasons of my life.
Right, so you proud to fight for your country?
Yes, sir.
I got a couple of questions for you, right? Give me that sign right there. Here's my issue right here on Veterans Day, right?
Well, let me say a piece of that.
Go ahead.
I'm not so much proud of what this country's done, but I fight for what this country, for the idealism that it was built for, that it was meant for everybody.
Okay.
Blacks, whites, Africans, Asian, it's meant for everybody. There's no black, white, pink, purple to me, it's people. That's what it is to me.
Okay.
I don't care about race. I care about what's important.
Okay, all right. Well,
that's what I fight.
I can accept that, but here's the thing, right? Now, you can put this down, because he said, not the history, but it's ideals, right? America was supposed to be the land of the free, right? It's supposed to be the home of the brave, supposed to be a place of equality and equal opportunity, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, here's my thing, right? You getting ready to deploy?
Yes, sir.
Where you deploying to?
North Korea.
North Korea, right? You deploying to North Korea?
Sir.
Dude, y'all deploying to North Korea. Now, I got a question, right? How is North Korea imposing on the ideals of America that America was founded upon?
They're wanting to destroy us.
But why do they want to destroy America?
I will admit America's made a few mistakes. Probably more than a few.
Right.
But over the years, America has been out, and how much have we helped other countries to build back what they've lost, like Afghanistan and Iraq, for example? How much did we go out and help them? Because they were in a time of need, and as we were in a time of resource.
Well, you could say that they were in a time of need. That could be an opinion, right? But I'm gonna tell you what's interesting about the Afghanistan situation. Coincidentally, when the troops go in there, that's when all the heroin starts getting exported into America from Afghanistan, jump-starting an opioid epidemic in America. Coincidentally, the same way that it did when American troops were in Thailand, were in Vietnam. Have you seen the movie American Gangster before? An American Gangster, how was he smuggling all that dope in? He was using the armed forces.
But that's not so much was the armed forces' fault, because we also have civilians that work with us with transportation. That wasn't, they may have not been military that done that, but they were using military for that. Yeah, now, it may have not been the military person.
Okay, I can get with you there. But see, the thing is, right, the problem that all these nations have with America, right, especially when you deal with like the Middle East and North Korea, their issue is that they feel like America goes and sticks its nose where it doesn't belong. Like America is the police of the planet Earth. Does that make sense?
I understand.
Do you think that that's okay for just to go around to every people and every cultural ideology and philosophy and try to put your influence there and then use your military might that's unprecedented in order to enforce that? Do you think that's fair? Or does that sound like a bully?
It's not so much really my place to talk about that.
So, okay, I can get with you. See, but there's a reason I made the point like a bully, right? Because what happens when you got a bully at school? Let's take a look at any movie, right? You got a bully at school, and you got the kid that's just, he keeps getting wedgies, he keeps getting put in a locker, he keeps getting swirlies, right? And he gets sick of it. So eventually it comes to that culmination where this kid musters up the strength and sock that bully in the nose and knock him clean out. And then everybody cheers, oh yeah, the bully. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
A lot of people are looking at America like America's that bully. According to biblical prophecy, the bully has got to get knocked out. That's the Bible. You a man of God. You a man of faith. You're spiritual. Do you believe in the Bible?
That's a difficult thing. That's a difficult thing to say, because who wrote the Bible? Man. Who has been the biggest deceiver throughout all of history? Man. So I mean, I don't take to heart so much to what the Bible says, but it has good guidelines and good morals.
I can hear you on that, but we know that you have to read books dealing with your training. Man wrote them books. Those books were fine, right? Man write every book. You see what I'm saying? So we can't just leave it to because man wrote it, it's corrupted. You see what I'm saying? Or it's got to be lied, right? But you got what I need? Salakia. Give me Babylon. Give me Babylon as follows. Revelation 18. I'm just gonna give you this real quick. I know you gotta run. You a United States Marine. You getting ready to deploy to Korea, and there's something that you should know. Okay, that God is gonna do to America. That God is gonna do to the American Army. Go ahead. Revelation 18. Go ahead.
Revelation 18:1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
America is that Babylon the Great in prophecy, right? That's right. When you're dealing with the Bible, you're dealing with things allegorically, right? When you deal with the word allegory, the root word of allegory is alias, right? So when you deal with an allegory, it refers to one thing as an alias, not by its direct name, but by an alias, right? So the alias that America is known as in the Bible is Babylon the Great. So Babylon the Great inevitably will fall, thus saith the Lord. Right. And for a reason. Hold that, get Jeremiah 50, read that.
There's Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears.
Yeah.
Let the weak say, I am strong.
Read that again from the top of my apologies. Go ahead.
Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords.
So it says, beat your plowshares into swords. Right? Where you from? Like Texas, right? You familiar with agriculture at all? Right, so you know what a plowshare is. But it say beat your plowshare into swords. So get your mind off agriculture and get it on a war. Right? Read.
And your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
The weak say, I am strong. These people who were getting bullied by the bully America are now able to say they're strong. Why are they able to say they're strong? Well, because of their advances in thermonuclear missile technology. Right. That's how they're strong. You see what I'm saying? Because outside of that, they can't mess with America. But their missile program is how they're going to be able to mess with America, and how inevitably they're going to destroy America.
Why did I make the point of how you said they advanced in missile nuclear technology?
Yes, sir.
A lot of that happened was during the Cold War, because it was during World War II when we dropped the bomb in Okinawa, because of what they were supporting Germany. A lot of the reason why people are saying America was a bully is because we were fighting against Germany. And a lot of the European countries are saying America's bully because we kind of stomped the shit out of them during those wars, but because of what they were doing in the Holocaust. And who were supporting them. We didn't want to bomb Okinawa. We didn't, and it was terrible that we did.
Listen, I don't got no problem with you bombing Okinawa, right? Because all of that is biblical. Brother, you meet Revelation 13.
And they want to say we're bullies because we want to try and make sure that doesn't happen again. Because we have yeah.
Well, my question is, what y'all want to make sure a Holocaust don't happen when you're the perpetrators of the biggest Holocaust of all time?
That's right.
Good. We're talking about 200 million bodies here. That's 6 million versus 200 million. That pales in comparison. So when we talk about who destroys the most, when we're talking about who does the most damage here, I mean, it's y'all, right? Like, there's a show on TV on ABC. It's called Scandal. Have you heard of this show before? Scandal?
See, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's all right. Have you heard of Scandal? Right, so on Scandal, right, you have the girl is the, I want to say chief of staff. All right, it's all right. All right, we don't shake hands. Hefe outbreak, right? But going into it, on the show Scandal, everybody know about Scandal, right? Starring, what's his sister? Kerry Washington, right? Kerry Washington got a show with come on ABC, Scandal, whatever. She was the bed wench for the president, now she's in the White House, whatever. So, they're dealing with a nuclear arms deal on the show with a fictitious Middle Eastern country, right? And the Middle Eastern dudes say, well, listen, how is it that y'all get to terminate everybody else's nuclear program, but y'all get to have y'all nuclear program? You want to control nuclear arms in the earth? Why don't we all just terminate our nuclear programs, right? But America would never do that. America's just trying to have, that's like saying, okay, we're going to come to this fight, but I get to keep my gun, but everybody else, y'all don't get to have y'all gun. You see what I'm saying? What that mean? I can just shoot all of y'all while y'all just got your hands. You see what I'm saying? That's giving yourself an unfair advantage in the earth. And it's not like America has this a spotless track record with people in order to be able to demand that they can be the ones who are proving that they're responsible with bombs. We see what they did in Japan. You see what I'm saying? What you got? What you need? Fire come down from heaven. Revelation 13. What I got you holding? No. You got that? Go ahead, read that. Whoever got it, read it. It's like towards the middle. The beast. Okay. Go ahead.
This is Revelation 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven.
That's what America could do. He did great wonders. What was the great wonders? He made fire come down from heaven. How did he do that? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know what?
On the earth, in the sight of men.
In the sight of men. And the whole world saw it.
Right.
And ain't nobody stepped to America since then. Right? Go ahead.
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth.
And he deceived people. He lied to people. Read on.
By the means of those miracles which he had power to do.
Because of the military might that he had, those miracles that he did, he deceived everybody, right? Because everybody was scared. If you're scared of somebody, you'll just believe whatever they say out of fear. That's how America has ruled the earth. Go ahead.
In the sight of the beast.
In the sight of the beast. Who's the original beast, right? Because this is, in Revelation 13, there's two beast references. There's a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, and then there's a beast with 2 horns that comes out of that major beast, right? That original beast represents the Roman Empire coming back, right? You had these nations that you know today as England, as Germany, as Italy, etc. All those were branches of the Roman Empire, right?
America is the little horn.
America is this brother knows the breakdown. America is the little horn, right? Somebody will tell you.
Excuse you.
Jesus, please. People will tell you that there's some antichrist that's a little horn. The scripture said there's many antichrists. So that little horn is this country known as America, which is also called later in Revelation the whore that gets everybody drunk, right? How is America personified? Through the Statue of Liberty, right? That's the great symbol of America. That's that gift that France, one of the 7 heads, gave to America to symbolize its personification, because it all goes into goddess worship, right? Like Washington is called Washington, D.C., right? D.C. stands for District of Columbia, right? If you do research on Columbia, people think Columbia has reference to Christopher Columbus coming over here and discovering. But in truth, Columbia symbolizes the goddess that personifies America. You remember back in the 50s when they had all the little blonde white girls, the little pinup girls and stuff like that? That's the goddess that represents America. All right, when you research it, you'll see that. So that's why the Bible says this is a whore that made everybody drunk. Columbia, yeah. So read that.
It says, saying to them that dwell, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword.
The image to the beast that had a wound by the sword. That's talking about the Roman Empire. Why did it have a wound by a sword? Because it failed. That's the wound. But they created an image, meaning they created a philosophy and an ideology. When you deal with that word image, because this is written in Greek, when you look at that Greek word, the word there is icon, right? When you deal with icon, it means a golden standard. So they created a golden standard that was predicated upon the Roman Empire. That's where you get the ideology of white supremacy from. That all goes back to the Roman Empire, looking at those people as the golden standard. That's why if you study, y'all look like y'all educated. Y'all went to college. What'd you study in college?
Criminal justice.
Criminal justice. Aren't all the terms in Latin? Some of them are in Latin, right? Where does Latin come from? Rome. That's where they spoke from Rome. When you deal with botany, when you deal with a lot of the medical field, a lot of Latin. This is all that golden standard that they created, modeled after ancient Rome, right? Go ahead.
It says, and did live, and he had power to give.
It says that the beast had a wound with a sword, but it did live. Meaning it fell, but it came back. But now they're not calling themselves the Roman Empire. They're calling themselves the European Union. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
He had power to give life. Read on.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast.
Let me see. Go ahead. It says as many would not worship the image. Go ahead.
Should be killed.
Should be killed. So this is how it started. It all started with the image of this white man as they purported to be Jesus Christ. When they took this image, they was able to go around everywhere and make everybody bow down to it. And guess what would happen if you would bow down to him? You would be killed. And this was the beginning of white supremacy in the earth. By saying this is the Son of God, he's made in the image of God, and this is what he looks like. So now everybody said, well, I want to look like God. God's people are white folks. You see what I'm saying? A straight lie, but this is how it all began. This is why everybody wants to be lighter skinned, wants to have this hair. All, you know, all that madness that all our people are all caught up into. All of that occurred, why? Because it all started there. And then from there, it turned into a philosophy that they were able to indoctrinate people with, right? But it has to all start with imagery and propaganda, because that's what gets seared into our subconscious, right? Go ahead.
And he calls it all, both small and great.
He calls it all people, right? This is what the beast is getting ready to do. Read on.
Both small and great, rich and poor,
read on.
free and bond,
Read on.
to receive a mark.
To receive a mark. Y'all familiar with the mark of the beast? Have you heard of that? Y'all know what the mark of the beast is? What is it? That's the number of the beast, but he's got a mark. Right? Go ahead. We're gonna see what it is. Read on.
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Right hand or forehead. Read.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast.
So what do you buy and sell with right now? With the car. What's in that car? A chip. What they gonna do with that chip? They're gonna put it in you. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
So that's what the mark of the beast is. This is what they're getting ready to do. This is why you see everything going on with the Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's worth 7 racks right now. You see what I'm saying? Going crazy.
It fell the other day.
It fell to 6,700. Yesterday it fell to 6,700, right? So, you know, it fluctuates, but it's high. What they're doing with that Bitcoin is using it as the guinea pig for how they're going to put this cashless society out. That's all Bitcoin is, because now you got all these new emerging cryptocurrencies like the Bitcoin that are following that Bitcoin model, but that they're saying it's more compatible or better. You see what I'm saying? They're using that Bitcoin as that guinea pig, and that's how they're going to standardize financial transactions in the earth. Right? Go ahead.
Or the number of his name.
That's that 666. Go ahead.
Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding
Yeah, we can go to that.
count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
You know about the UPC code, all got the 666 on all the barcodes. All those chips will have individualized barcodes, right? But read this. This is the Greek word for mark that we saw there in Revelation. Read.
This is the Greek word for K-ROC, G5480. A stamp, an imprint mark.
Imprinted mark. Right, go ahead.
Of the mark stamped on the forehead or right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist.
Go to the etymology of it. Take it back to the etymology. Because the word in Greek is K-ROC, right? But it'll take you back etymologically to the Greek word K-ROC, right? So let's deal with K-ROC.
This is the Greek word K-ROC, 5482.
Read.
A pale or stake Palestine.
A pale, right? What is a pale? Something that gets impaled, right? Or a stake. What do you do with a stake? You stick it in. That's how we know what the mark of the beast is going to be, that implementation. And we, of course, know that it's going to be dealing directly with making transactions, so it has to be something like that. But go ahead.
All right, where I find that at?
We're dealing with the Strong's Concordance, right?
Okay.
If you look up the Strong's Concordance, it'll give you every word in Greek and Hebrew that exists in the Bible.
What's the word?
The word there is K-ROC. What you do is just go to Revelations, the mark of the beast scripture, and it'll give you all the numbers, right? If you use the resource and just go to the word for mark. Then with the Strongs, it always gives you the etymology if available. So then it'll point you towards the word that deals with it, etymology, which will be K-ROC.
Blue letter Bible app.
Yeah, the blue.
I got it. I got it on my phone, man.
So y'all know y'all Israelites?
Of course I know I'm an Israelite.
Okay, all right.
No. I'm not, I ain't out here doing what y'all doing, you know what I'm saying? But I know that from what my pop taught me, you know what I'm saying? So, I talk to my wife all the time. Let her know what's going on.
You live out here?
Nah, I stay in Compton.
Oh, you stay in Compton? Yeah. All right, well, brothers got to get it. Matter of fact, who's from LA out here? That brother's from LA. We got a few brothers that drove down from up north. You see what I'm saying? So like it. But what we got to do is we got to push this truth out there so more of our people can wake up. That way, the more of us wake up, the closer we're going to get to getting about it. Getting out of this captivity. So that's why it's paramount for us to do that. All right, shalom. All right.